Good morning. It's another wonderful day in the McLaren. I'm lucky enough this morning to be heading out with the Drivers' Union to be going to the London Concors Event, which is, traffic. It's held right in the centre of London, and if we're lucky we should be able to see some really fantastic stuff. I think there's some F50s, some F40s, there's a LaFerrari, there's a Bugatti Chiron, a Bugatti Veyron, the new electric Lotus will be there, and plenty of other stuff besides. So later on I'll do another video and walk you through that. Alright. Arrived a little bit early. Have a look round. Look what we got, in fact. All the Drivers' Union cars are parked over there. You can see my white McLaren just in the back there. And then we've got here we have the Bugatti Chiron. I'm going to take a walk down the 200-mile-an-hour club and see what cars we've got on display this morning. Next, we've got a Zonda F. This thing looks absolutely stunning in red. I have to say it's, I think, the first Zonda F I've seen in the metal. And the phone just doesn't do it justice. It looks utterly incredible. Talking to a couple of people about them, one member of the Drivers' Union had actually gone and visited and toured around the factory where they make them, and apparently every single nut and bolt is done by hand. They have no electric screwdrivers, no electric tools. Every single item on that car is completely hand built, and it is absolutely stunning. Here we've got a Bugatti Veyron and two-tone. I believe this is a members car, so someone from the Drivers' Union has this as their car. It's got a beautiful light blue pinstripe that runs all the way around the back and also comes up into those vents that you see on both sides. Wheels brushed chrome, absolutely gorgeous. Straight on to the Murcielago next in yellow. I think I actually walked past this a little bit quickly because I'm spotting the Ferrari lineup that's further down. Here we have an Enzo, absolutely beautiful in red. The first time I actually ever saw an Enzo, it was in black. I believe it was Jamiroquai's, and he just bought it and he happened to park outside my house when I was living in Camden. Absolutely amazing thing. So I've always had a soft spot for the Enzos. It's not until you get up really close to them you quite see how large these sculptures are on the side of both the wheel arches. You look at the size of those vents. You're used to seeing them at the back of the car going in, but it's the one coming out of the front wheels that really takes me by surprise until I see it in real life. Absolutely stunning lineup. I think they've got a collection of 8 or 9 cars here, all under the banner of the 200-mile-an-hour club. And straight on from the Enzo, I sort of ignore this absolutely wonderful Diablo here. Vents coming up from the bottom and over the roof scoop as well. They're actually mirrored in the way that they taper to a point, but distracted by this F50, which is absolutely beautiful. And if you look at the black line that runs around it, I hadn't appreciated the F50 has a really thick black poker straight, if you look at it side on, line that runs around it at an angle. The F40, it runs around slightly flatter, and I think it's a real shame that they didn't have that same line continuing onto the likes of the Enzo. But I mean, this is a wonderful car, and if that grille or grate at the back, really nice to be able to. And onto the F40. The F40, this particular one isn't an owner's car, but there is an F40 in the drivers' union. That's Aston Martin. Is in fact a Tag Heuer edition Aston. Superleggera, absolutely beautiful. We've also got the Mercedes SLR, next to a Corvette, a Ferrari 488 Spider, and a pair of BMWs, the i8 and the Z8. All of those cars on display there are members' cars, so they're all from the drivers' union. About 50 cars turned up from the drivers' union to join this event. Really spectacular. Back to the F40. This, as I said, isn't the F40 of a members, but it is absolutely wonderful. You can see, I think it's actually been resprayed at some point in its life, because you can no longer see the carbon weave through the paintwork. So I think they. And finally, finishing off with this red Lister as a 6-litre engine parked under that enormous hood. And I believe it's the only one of the 200 mile an hour club that's actually got back seats.